killer and dealer turned activist turned killer once again. We will begin into this story. Ex-con turned NYC criminal justice activist busted after head of prison rival found in freezer of apartment he was seen leaving in a blonde wig. Okay. A criminal justice activist is facing murder charges after cops found a dismembered body inside a Bronx apartment, with the accused killer caught on surveillance video disguised in a blonde wig at the scene of the crime. So first off, I actually want to show you all an image of the different disguises that this man had, okay? Because he committed a crime, obviously, so now he's trying to do some master of disguise stuff so that obviously he doesn't get caught, all right? There's same dude, one dude, 5 images, okay? You see him as his regular self on the left. You see that next picture? I have a little bit more on, whatever. I could be a different person, maybe not. Third one, now my head is tilted down. I'm wearing completely different clothes. I mean, all of them different clothes. Except for that middle one, that last one, probably the same shoes. Then he has some kind of weird cap on. And you notice he's always carrying something in all of these images. And then that last one just seals the deal, and he has a blonde wig on, y'all. How do you go from I'm a drug dealer, I'm a killer, I beat people up, and I'm in a gang, to, you know what, I'm a community activist, I don't do that kind of stuff anymore, I'm a changed man, y'all, to, you know what, I'm back to my old ways. Let's get into this story. Sheldon Johnson, a 48-year-old staffer for the public law firm Queens Defenders, was led out of the 44th precinct station house in handcuffs after police made a grisly discovery: a human torso in a blue bin and a head stashed in a freezer in the 6th floor apartment. Police said he was held without bail at his arraignment. Johnson, an ex-con who turned his life around and became a well-known victims advocate, was featured in Joe Rogan's podcast. You know how they like to do it. Ooh, look at him. He was on there. And rubbed elbows with VIPs like Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg. Johnson started working as a client advocate at the public defender's office in Queens sometime after being released from prison in 2019 after serving 20 years for a series of armed robberies in 1999. Sound like you did a lot of crime and you were not going to stop unless you got caught. In an interview on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, Johnson, who claimed he used to be a member of the Bloods gang, told host Josh Dubin he was arrested and sentenced to a maximum of 50 years for using a gun to rob several men who owed him money for drugs. But after spending some time in and out of solitary confinement, the convicted felon said he decided to, quote unquote, turn his life around. He then got his GED while in prison. Johnson said he also took courses on deep breathing and conflict resolution while it's like, did they work that well? We don't know. Neighbors told cops the victim was heard desperately pleading with his killer shortly before 2 shots rang out in the apartment near Ogden Avenue and West 162nd Street shortly after 8 p.m. Please don't. I have a family, is what the victim was saying. Investigators were first called to the building for a wellness check because a neighbor was like, okay, something ain't right. I'm hearing noises, I heard shots, and I'm seeing some guy come back and forth. That is not the guy that lives there. So what happened? All right. Says a wellness check after the shots were heard and the neighbors reported seeing a stranger coming in and out, coming and going from the apartment with cleaning supplies. The building superintendent said chilling surveillance video footage obtained by the Post shows Johnson stepping out of the 6th floor elevator, looking around cautiously before he slowly walks to the apartment and goes inside. Okay, so this is our alleged murderer. And it looks like he has some kind of mop in his hand. And they were over here saying that neighbors, superintendents, were actually saying that he was going in and out with cleaning supplies. And yes, he also had multiple disguises, about 5 of them, and one included a blonde wig. He is seen wearing a dark coat over a yellow hoodie and lugging a mop in a bag that sources said was full of cleaning supplies. I said, listen, I want to do a welfare check on the tenant because the person who is coming in and out is not said tenant. This is someone who, the super who asked not to be identified. He said Johnson carried a blue bin into the apartment at 2 a.m. and never brought it back out. Why would you do that? He brought in the bin. I told them, why is he bringing the bin at 2 o'clock in the morning? He's bringing in the bin so late, the super said. We tried to see if he took out the bin. He never took out the bin. Looked for a bin, and sure enough, it was there. The super also saw the suspect leaving in the victim's blue Audi and returning in a Uber wearing a blonde wig. Wow. He is coming in. He is dressed differently, changing his character. I mean, like I said, master of disguise. I said, that's not normal. He is hiding something. He said police made an initial check at the apartment but left without busting the suspect. The guy stood there, the super said. They took him out and everything. They looked in the apartment. They didn't find anything. They apologized, said somebody called and they have to come. He said Johnson then asked to speak with them. I went back to the house and the neighbor called and said the guy is looking for me. He wants to talk to me, he said. I said, I'm going to go to him. I'm going to ask him what he wants, then tell the police what he tells me. That was the plan. But before the meeting took place, police were back and took Johnson in for questioning. If I'd gone, you never know what he was going to do, the super said. He was going to frame me or shoot me or offer me something to get rid of the cameras or something. Yeah, because mind you, this is the superintendent of this apartment building. Apartment complex. Tenant Jose Marquez told the Post he saw Johnson walking a small dog days before the murder. You are assuming this guy has a professional career, went to work, came back, walked the dog, and continued with his personal life. Wow. What's so upsetting is this seems like a well-spoken man. He's a very attractive looking guy too. I'm not gonna lie, he is. And just all of this that you're doing, you're a murderer. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. You're part of this Queen's Defenders. You're smiling and all that. But nothing has changed. This is the kind of stuff I talk about. You want people to do right. I mean, you made it all the way to Joe Rogan show. You know how many people want to go to Joe Rogan show? So many people want to go on there. And, they have good stories. They got your average Joes and all that. But we have somebody like you and you're a murderer.